Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Corey Sherman. I'm a leather crafter, just for fun. I've been doing this for probably about 8 months now, and I've been really getting into it, making wallets and all sorts of things, but I've recently purchased a new firearm, and I really want to try my hand at making a holster for it. This is the inside the waistband holster that I bought for it. It's a Blackhawk. I do like it because it's really soft and it feels good where I carry, but it's falling apart already. Some of the threading is already coming apart and everything. So I'm gonna keep this shape. We're gonna transfer it to some cardstock and then start thinking about leathers we wanna use to make this. Cool. So I'm just kind of messing around with the shape. I started by tracing it and then drawing that lateral line in, and then I thought to myself, you can't take a two-dimensional object and fold it out in 3 dimensions. So I figured I would just kind of roughly trace the profile and then just kind of sort of slide it over and trace it just real rough. So I think I'm just gonna cut this out really quick just to look at it and be able to like tactilely fold it, see if I like this for the shape, and we'll go from there. All right, so there's our pattern. What I want to do now is kind of mess with it a little bit. Fold it in, make sure everything lines up the way I want it to. Then I'm going to have enough space on the inside. Yeah, that's really nice actually. I like that. And that's basically it. To the T. Okay, we'll roll with that. So, what I'm going to do first, before I get into cutting up any of the leather that I'm going to actually use, I want to take some really cheap, just oak tan vegetable leather that I have. It was like $100 for a side, and I want to make it really fast. I just want to trace it onto there, cut it out, stitch it, just to see if I like the fit on it. Things are going to change a little bit when we go to do the actual holster, because I'm going to do a lining. I'm going to do vegetable tan on the outside and the inside, so it's going to be a little bit thicker. I think it should be okay, but we'll see. I'm pulling out some of these colors to see what I like and what I don't like. So the gun is black. They always say don't go black and brown, like don't wear black pants with a brown belt. Sometimes I'm a firm believer of that. Sometimes I really disagree. I mean, the firearm's like gun black, you know, it's like a grayish black. I've always liked this olive green a lot. This pull-up leather, this is from Rocky Mountain Leather Supply. This is good stuff. I actually just made a guitar pick holder out of this stuff, and I really like it. I also have this red and this blue. I really like these colors. This is probably my favorite. I really, really, really like this leather. It's just got a lot of character to it, a lot of color, a lot of scarring. Make a really nice holster. I really like this brown, or this red. So, maybe I'll do these. So I think I've decided to go with the brown and the red for a few different reasons. One, because it'll match my wallet, because I went with the kind of red and brown scheme in my wallet. It looks nice. It's aged okay. I'll tell you what. We'll do brown on the outside, because I really like this leather. I want to show it off. Red on the inside. And then, this is what I was thinking. Instead of doing one of these plastic clips or one of the Tandy holster clips, I really don't like those. Let's do a magnet. Some really strong neodymium magnet, and it'll be just like my wallet is, where it holds my money, but instead it'll be on here. We'll stitch it on, boom. But before we get into all those colors and doing all that crazy stuff, we're just gonna start with Craftsman Oak Side from Tandy. Real cheap stuff. I think it'll be really good for just a quick throw it together, test it out, make sure your gun slides in and out kind of thing, just to be certain that I'm making the right choice with this size of a pattern. And I don't want to maybe increase it a couple, you know, millimeters out or whatever. So let's just do this really quick, stitch it up really quick, and then throw it all together and see what we think. All right, so we got the piece cut out. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna glue this up, and then we'll check and see how everything fits up. I am going to trim the edges flush at least though. So I'm gonna leave this under some weight. I'll let this dry overnight. So I'm gonna pick this back up tomorrow. This is just a quick test piece. We'll do a quick test piece thing with it. And then as long as everything is good to go, we'll move right on over to the nicer pull-up leather and that milled stuff that I'm planning on using to line everything. That's gonna be it for now.
One eternity later.
All right, so I went ahead and I did a couple tests actually. The first one I did, and this is based off of that first pattern that I made, this one right here. And when I went to check the fit, it didn't fit the way I liked it. There was too much looseness everywhere, and it was also a little tight in the front. It needed to be a little bit deeper in this direction. So I went ahead and I just took this pattern and made it 1/4 of an inch bigger all around, and that was number 2. And when I did that, it was a little bit better, but it just felt too big now, too bulky. There was too much extra down here and everything. So I thought to myself, well, we'll skinny it up a little bit. And then I also thought, well, I've been using a 3-ounce leather to do all of this, and I'm stacking 2 3-ounce leathers together to make it. So these aren't even going to be accurate to how thick it's actually going to be. So I grabbed a 4 to 5 ounce leather that I had sitting around, just another cheap shoulder, and I kind of took this and kind of made everything smaller and made a new pattern, and then I tested this one out. That feels perfect to me. It's just the right width. Everything feels really nice actually. It's not sticking up too much, and it's gonna come out real easy. I think that's what we're gonna roll with, so this one should be good. So what we have going on now is we went ahead and we got our magnet onto here and stitched them on, and then we got everything all glued together. We got the lining in and we got the outside already. Everything should come together pretty nicely. So what we're going to do before we move on to any beveling or any stitching of the rest of this is I'm going to take some more of this leather and some of this and make the clip that's going to clip everything all together. Cool. I sure hope so.
2,000 years later.
Alrighty, well, we got everything finished up, and it turned out pretty good. There's a couple things I'd probably change about it if I make another one. I probably wouldn't use the milled leather on the inside. It's a little too soft, which I knew going in. I just figured it was for me, and I liked the way it looked, so I rolled with it. That's pretty much about it. Thanks for hanging around and checking everything out, watching me make this. All of my socials will be linked in the description. If you want to follow me, or if you're at all interested in any sort of leather goods, just contact me. Instagram would probably be the best. It'll be linked below. And thank you very much. We'll talk to you next time.